So let's take a look here. So 8:15, they dropped this. Unfortunately, my internet has not been up because of a move, and so I wasn't able to post anything in the past few days, especially with regarding the notices or anything like that. But here I am. We're back, and everyone,
Yeah.
if you're watching the video, you know who I am. I'm Jaeger, and with us today we have NoFoxGaming.
What's up, everybody?
So we're gonna take a look at this notice. Let's start with the beginning. It starts with the just the banner for the Moon Goddess, and it gives us an event period of the 17th to the 24th, which is a reasonable amount of time. I mean, that's like what 8 days? 8 days, I want to say, maybe. I can't count right now. 17, 24, and it's 24-hour period. So we're looking at no whole week, 7 days. So we're only looking at 7 days, which is a whole week, which isn't so bad. But they did give us like what is that? A 3-day notice. So that's not too bad. Hey Mirror, how's it going? Good to see you. So anyways, we're looking at this notice here. Nothing too amazing. We got tonight's the Moon Festival, time when people gaze at the moon. Obviously, it's not tonight. It starts on the 17th for this event, and it's a time when people gaze to the moon and give thanks to the moon goddess. To celebrate, Chaldea has prepared its own mini moon festival. Cool. And as such, we've been making lots and lots of nice dumplings. Oh wait, where's the dumplings? Uh-oh, we got something.
We got dongos.
We got dongos.
Hey.
But anyway, so there is going to be a specific Moon Festival story. So that's cool. That's something that they haven't done before yet with us. Have a separate story quest along with the free quest that they're going to give out. And you do have to have completed the tutorial, which isn't exactly high cost to get in, but you never know. Some people could be starting up the game today, and
Oh,
uh, and that would be a fun time trying to trying to get all the way through the tutorial and here and back.
they're
Which
just.
actually
I
doesn't take
think that
that long. You don't even have to level up your servants to get through tutorial.
I
Um,
think that they did this just so people who are re-rolling couldn't get like overrun because that is because you have to beat Fuyuki. I guess unless they just mean like that intro tutorial
yeah,
where you play as like
if it,
Arash and
yeah. Which, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, just the intro tutorial. If they're talking about the first singularity, which is Fuyuki,
yeah.
then like, that definitely cuts out a lot of people and especially cuts down on re-rolling. So, I mean, that's smart on them because, re-rolling, it is a thing. And if you're only re-rolling for one character, not a big deal. But if you can't, even re-roll to get the character that you want, then it might be a little bit of a problem. But I don't think that's the case actually. I think the case is for the event eligibility is going to be doing the quests for the event. I don't think it's going to be the polls. So you're going to miss out on those craft essences from the event and like the extra items from the event. That's for sure, and that's a big jump for someone to just start the game. So that's useful.
Yeah.
Like, and that's limiting in them re-rolling. So I mean, it's a way to combat things. They're a company. They're trying to make money here. So I don't blame them in that sense. But anyway, so hints and strategies. This is interesting. I don't think last time they gave us any hints or strategies, but we can equip the craft essences to increase the drops for the formable items, of which I believe there's a shit ton of items in the store, and we're gonna need a bunch of drops of the dangos to get to get
Dango.
everything that we need.
Yeah.
So fun, great. That's gonna be a great time.
And then they
Luckily,
made it a week
yeah,
instead of
um,
2.
yeah. So this is definitely gonna be interesting. Um, I mean, farming for a whole week straight. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna try to get as much as I can done this week. Um, But let's move on. Anyways, so we got a new craft essence, Moonlight Fest, and it increases your critical star drop rate and critical strength by 15%. So that's cool. I like this. I like this craft essence. It's not completely terrible, but it's actually pretty good when you like think about it. It's great for crit teams. Because obviously, that's the key. Get as many craft
Yeah.
essence crit stars as you can. Um, but other than that, it doesn't do anything. Um, it's just a limited time craft essence, and this is, I believe, the pullable one. So or wait, actually, is this the limited rewards? So this is in the store for the tradable items. So if I go down here, so event limited craft essence Moonlight Fest. So that is something that everyone is available to get, which isn't bad. So, and I agree with chat. Like, you don't really need more than one. Um, and it is definitely better than the last event craft essence.
I mean,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
if you're using the craft essence for like a survivor like Ku, that's actually like one of the best ones you can use for him because you don't even need to pop any of his skills until after the craft essence skill goes off. So that's
Yeah.
quite useful. But then the usefulness for that craft essence is extremely limited. This craft essence, on the other hand, we got a ton of use for. It can fit in a lot of different teams and a lot of different makeups and a lot of different servants. It's not like extremely, it's not got a small niche, but it's definitely got a big area where it can fit. So I like it. I like it a lot. But anyways, moving
Yeah.
on. We got a bunch of rewards here, the usual XP cards, QP, and Blaze of Wisdoms, Fire of Wisdoms, etc., etc. Those honestly, you can skip out on those. Don't spend your hard-earned dangos on those items. Not unless you're like overflowing and you've been grinding for 3 days straight, and it's unless you got a shit ton of them things, don't bother trading them in. But we do have ascension materials. So we have a bunch of pieces and monuments, which is awesome for archers, riders, and assassins. So if that's what you've been lacking for one of your characters, fucking A, like this is good. I know we've been
Yeah.
cussing a little bit during the stream. I try not to cuss a lot, but this is exciting. I like this. This should be fun.
This game makes you have to cuss, man.
Yeah, sometimes it's crazy. So, but along with the event, of course, we're gonna get a summon. We're gonna get a summon. We're gonna get a banner, and in this banner we have Orion. So, um, not insanely crazy. From what I looked at, her skills are pretty good for what she is, and her noble phantasm is also relatively good. She's an arts archer, so I don't know. I don't know where this character would fit in completely. Um, it's odd.
What
She's
does her
got
noble phantasm do? I haven't read the notice.
she like her skills are weird. It's a jack of all trades, but her noble phantasm deals damage to one enemy, reduces their attack by 20% for 3 turns.
She's single target.
Yeah, she's single target. She's not an AoE, which is good
Maybe,
because she will help you take down bosses. Like bosses, especially we got a few saber bosses out there. So that's not bad. And then also the overcharge effect is chance to reduce enemy NP gauge by 1, which isn't exactly amazing. Like, waivers, Noble Phantasm does that automatically. It's not on a chance system. So,
yeah.
it's iffy. It's not amazing, but it's all right. And but the damage percentages are actually really high. At level 1, it's 900%. At level 5, if you manage to get 5 copies, it's 1500%. So she's a serious nuke, arts nuke. If you do get her into Noble Phantasm 5. And So I don't know. She's got maybe a little bit of a niche. Her skills are really weird. Let's go back up to Orion real quick. We're gonna keep talking about this. Actually, let's go down at the bottom because she's here. So her skills are a little weird. Let's talk about her skills real quick. We got Eye of the Mind False B, and that unlocks at third ascension, and that's an evasion for 1 turn and increases critical damage for 3 turns. So like
Oh,
that's shared with a few lancers out there. And evasion for 1 turn, I mean, it's really hard to know when to use evasion because the only, unless like she's your last servant, obviously, and like, they got a noble phantasm up, use the evasion. That's obvious. But when you got 2 other servants on the field and, you got either a single target noble phantasm out there that, the enemy's going to use or, just a series of enemies that it's possible to kill her, you're not going to know when to use it. So it's kind of odd. It's really odd in when to use that skill. I mean, you got other situations where, for example, like we were talking about Ku earlier, he's a survival beast. He's got guts, he's got an evasion, he's got if you use Nightless Rose on him, he's got an initial guts, which um, which if we think about it, Nightless Rose is awesome because it's an initial guts that goes on until the character dies, right? So when that
mm,
character dies, say for example, you get Noble Phantasm to last enemy, that's your last servant, right? Then
yeah,
using Eye of the Mind is feasible because it's like I want to survive another extra turn. Hey, that's your time to use evade. But other than that, evade for 1 turn is really hard of a skill to like know when to use. And then
yeah.
her
Just
other
wait till your health.
so it's odd, It's like you can use it when your health is low, but then sometimes they don't even hit you. They may buff themselves for 3 times. So, it's odd. So anyways, after the first Ascension unlock, we got increase own attack against male enemies for 1 turn, which is actually significant. It's a 50% increase all the way to a 100% increase. But the problem is it's male enemies. There's not that many male enemies in the game. And even then, there's definitely a lot of like if you're doing story, yes, there's a lot of male enemies. But if you're doing um,
Everything else.
everything else, you're not going to have a lot of male enemies. And then available from the start, she's got Affection of Goddess, which is increases her own defense for 1 turn, and increases her own attack by 20% for 3 turns, and increases on debuff resistance by 50% for 3 turns. And the only thing that modifies whenever you level it up is defense. Attack stays at 20% for the entirety of its existence, which kind of sucks. I mean, I would have loved to see something increased for that, like like maybe up to 40 for 3 turns. But
Yeah,
once again, it's kind of an iffy. It's kind of an iffy skill. Like okay, yeah, you increase your defense if you want to. So I don't know. I don't know. She's an iffy servant.
yeah. I don't really see how I'm gonna use her, but I want it.
Yeah, I know. You
I
want
was like,
all of the 5 stars. That's all it is.
yeah, I'm a completionist.
Completionist. Okay, so anyways, besides Orion, we're gonna get some craft essences, some pullables. We got Moon Goddess's Bath, which restores your HP by 500 per turn and increases doubling drop mount by 100%, which is interesting. I like this craft essence. Um, Only because HP regen every turn is fucking awesome. I'm all about it. Although it is a low amount, but it's not so low that like after like 3 or 4 turns, like that's a good hit. You can survive a hit after that. And like it's constantly regenerating. So especially if you got enough defense where the enemy can't hit you or for much, like
Yeah,
they're hitting you for like less than 1,000. Like it's freaking awesome.
yeah.
You're gonna survive.
You're gonna heal it.
Yeah, you're gonna heal it basically. And so that's an interesting craft essence. I can see why that's a 5 star craft essence. It could be extremely powerful. Holy shit. Okay, my shit's going crazy. But anyways, um, next up we got um, Mooney Jewel. which increases your charm resistance by 80%, which is absolutely useless. There's not that many enemies that use charm, and even then, it's very likely that they're gonna miss.
Could have
But it,
used that during the last Nero Fest with fucking Alexander charming my entire team.
oh yeah, Alexander is one of those servants that can charm anybody, which is interesting for him. He's one of those servants. He's interesting. But anyways, so Mooney Jewel, but it does increase dumpling drop amount by 2, like a straight flat 2, which is cool. I like it. If you get to pull it, just throw it on one of your back servants in the back and your support side, and you're good. So not bad at all. Definitely useful if you get to pull it. And then we got a new craft essence called Moon Cell Automation, and it increases your
Apparently,
command card effectiveness by 3%, which I believe is everything. Everything you do for the craft for that servant, every card that that servant plays is increased by 3%, which isn't amazing. It's not a ton, and honestly, I can only see it really being used for the the dumpling drop amount, which is another +1. So other than that, the event, honestly, the servants and the craft essences, nothing stands out crazy, amazing, except for the 5-star craft essence, which we're going to go back up to it real quick. Moon Goddess's Bath, that one stands out a lot. I mean, like that,
oh,
if I don't pull anything out of this event except for Moon Goddess's Bath, I'll be happy. Um, but other than that, this event doesn't seem too amazing except for the materials. The materials are the best part of this event. So definitely everyone go out there, farm the materials, get as much as you can, and have fun with it. And
yeah,
don't
man.
worry too much. Don't worry too much about this banner, about pulling. If you're saving your jewels and you have an idea of like, oh hey, should I pull for Orion or should I try to get some of the pickup servants? Don't. It's not exactly. They're not exactly amazing. The only amazing pickup servant that I see on this list is gonna be Marie Antoinette. Other than that, everyone else, Ushi Wakamaru is really good, but she's also common. She's just a
Yeah,
rare. She
you can get her in the friend gotcha.
you can get her in the friend gotcha. You can get her anytime. She's not a big deal. You're not missing out on anything by not having her. Marie Antoinette, on the other hand, she's a survival beast. Um, um, yeah, it's crazy. Like the way that you can use that character, it's insane. So if you don't already have a Marie and you're looking to get a good writer, she's one to look at and to get. And especially if you're trying to farm, um, freaking doors, she's excellent at farming doors. So there's that. There's that. And later on, we are going to need uh, to to have a lot of money. So at that point, she'll be useful. Even if you don't use her anywhere else, she'll be useful at doing that. But she is definitely a good servant to have. I think one of the better 4 stars available um, out of all the 4-star servants. But other than that, like I said, everybody have fun, get as much ascension materials as you can. This is going to be a great event for everyone, especially new players in getting ascension materials to level up their characters, and even for veteran players that are, trying to level up as many of their servants as they can. Um, don't worry about the craft essences or anything in the banner. There's nothing incredibly amazing except for Moon Goddess's Bath, and that's something that will, most likely than not, you're probably not going to get it. So if you're only sitting on less than 100 jewels or less than 100 quartz, um, don't bother wasting your time with it. I mean, you're probably going to have to pull 4 or 5 times just to get what you want to get. And if you're less than 100 quartz, don't waste your time. But those are my thoughts. Any closing thoughts? No, Fox.
I always say YOLO pull.
Yeah, YOLO
Uh,
pull. I mean, if you want to live
always
your
go
life
for
on
the
the
pull.
edge, do YOLOs.
Always, always
I mean,
go for the pull.
that's his mantra. So, I mean, we have 2 competing thoughts, which is all right. Um, it's nothing crazy. But like I said before, you know, take your time with it. Look through the banner, look through your servants, see what you're missing. That's the number one thing as well when pulling for servants. See what you're missing. If you're missing something, or if you want to build something, say for example, you have two pieces out of three, and you need this third piece to make a really great team, that's when you want to pull for something. That's when, that's the time you want to spend your drills. So anyways, everyone, I'm out. Have a good day and see you next time.